Hello, today we're going to talk about 6.4 rational exponents. All right, so just a little reminder at the top, you want to remember that negative exponents mean fractions, while fraction exponents mean radicals. Okay, so when you have a fraction in the exponent, the numerator is the power, what you're raising it to, and the denominator is the index. So what I like to do is I usually do this one. So I like to do the radical first, make the number smaller, then make it larger, right? But you can do it this way, okay? Another way of looking at it is this last sentence here, okay? You need to have this memorized, okay? Like second nature, like knowing that 2 plus 2 is 4. All right, so let's simplify these fraction exponents. So for number 1, we rewrite this. The number stays large. We write it with a radical. And like I said before, I write the power on the outside. The numerator is the power. The denominator is the index. The square root of 9 is 3. 3 to the first power is 3. Number 2, 27. Leave that large. Write your radical. The denominator is your index. The numerator is your power. The cube root of 27. Okay, hopefully we know by now that's 3. Then 3 squared is 9. Number 3. Right, 16 large. 3 is the power. 4 is the index. The fourth root of 16 is 2. Okay, if you're unsure of that, just break 16 down. That's 2 times 2 times 2 times 2. Okay, so now that I have 4 2's, the house rule, so we get 2 cubed. So that's 8. Number 4. So we have 32. The denominator is the index. The numerator, I'm going to leave it with the negative, so negative 2. So even if you had this written as 32 negative 2/5, I'd always put that negative with the 2 on top. Okay, so I like to think of it as 32 to the negative 2 over 5. Okay, there's a reason for that. All right, I'm going to deal with it last. So here, the fifth root of 32, that's just 2. A negative exponent, remember that little reminder at the beginning? That means fractions. So we put 1 over that, make it a positive exponent. So the answer now is 1/4. All right, try some more on your own. Okay, pause it. Okay, so for number 1, you could rewrite this as the square root of 81 cubed. So that's just 9 cubed, which is 729. Number 2, we do the square root of 25. Raise that to the negative 3. 5 to the negative 3. 1 over 5 cubed. Done. Number 8. Ooh, this one was gross. I don't like this one. I'm sorry, I'm trying to think how to change it. Okay, I think that's what went wrong. Sorry, it was supposed to be flipped. Much nicer now. So now we're going to have the cube root of 8 raised to the negative 2. 2 to the negative 2. 1 over 2 squared. Wait, didn't we just do that one? Seems familiar. Anyway, number 4. Okay, I didn't talk about decimals, right? We didn't do decimal exponents. So what, we just give up? We take the L, right? No. All right. Rewrite it as a fraction. Okay, so 1.5 is the same thing as 9, and you have one whole number. How you deal with the decimal is you can just put 5 over 10 because that's the 10th place. So whatever the number is after the decimal over whatever place value it's at. So it's a 5 and it's in the 10th place. If it was 51, that's the 100th place, so it would be 51 out of 100. Okay, but it's not. So let's go back to this. So 1 and 5/10 or 1 and a half, that's just 9 and, let's see, that's just 3/2. Okay, if you're lost, just talk to me. Okay, and I'll show you an easy way to do this on your calculator. All right, so then now we can simplify this. So we get the square root of 9 and then cube it. So 3 cubed is just 27. Ooh, sorry, running out of space. Okay, biggest problem with these kinds of exponents and whatnot is negative signs and kids messing up how to deal with them. You have to be careful, okay? You have to realize what you're talking about. This negative is not being raised to the negative 3/2, okay? Just like when you have 2x cubed, the 2 is not being cubed. Just like when you have negative x cubed, the negative is not being cubed, okay? So for number 5, this negative is on the outside, so we leave it out there. We don't deal with it when we're simplifying this problem. So this one would be the square root of 36, and then you would raise that to the negative 3. So leave that negative out there. Square root of 36 is 6. 6 to the negative 3. That's 1 over 6 cubed. So we get negative 1 over 216. All right, now let's do number 6. When it is included, we then can take the square root of that number and raise it to the negative 3. This is an issue though. An even root of a negative can't be done. Not in this chapter, right? It's imaginary, we know it's gross, but we're not going that far. So all I need you to write is imaginary. Do the next problem. This one includes the negative. So here it would be the 5th root of negative 32 raised to the negative 3. Here we can take the root of a negative because it's an odd root, the 5th root. So the 5th root of 32 is just 2, but since it's negative, that's negative. Raise that to the negative 3. Put that under 1. Negative 2 cubed is negative 8. All right, try some more. Pause it, give it a whirl, see how you do. All right, so we practice this one. Well, that's just silly of me. That's just negative 1/8. We did that literally on the last problem. Don't know why I did that. Sorry. Number 8. Let's see. You leave the negative outside. So that's the 5th root of 32 raised to the negative 3. So 2 raised to the negative 3, which is 1 over 2 cubed, negative 1/8, or 1/8. I don't know why I didn't say that with a th. All right. Let's see. Number 9. We can rewrite it as 4 to the negative 3 halves over 9 to the negative 3 halves. That might be easier. Okay. So we can take the square root of 4, raise it to the negative 3, square root of 9, raise it to the negative 3. So we get 2 to the negative 3, 3 to the negative 3. I don't like negative exponents, so I move them. And now we get 27 over 8. Whew, running out of space. Okay. Number 10. All right, so here I would just think of the negative with the numerator. I wouldn't put it with both. So here we have negative 8 to the 2/3 and 64 to the 2/3. I know, I'm writing it all out. I'm trying to show every single step. Okay, now let's take the cube root. We can do that with a negative, so that just becomes negative 2 squared over 4 squared. So our answer is just 4 over 16, which is 1/4. There you have it. All right, if I went too fast, please talk to me. I will gladly go over this more in class.